Hi guys, it's SkintBoot here, and today what I'm going to be bringing you guys is a No Man's Sky video. And in today's video, what I'm really excited to bring you guys is some new ARG information from the WARE developers that could be hinting at the contents of the next update for No Man's Sky. There is lots of interesting things to look at today. I'm going to try my best to explain it all without going overboard, but this is really exciting stuff. But anyway, with all of that said and done, please do sit back and relax. Let's get started. So about a day or two ago, those who signed up to the WARE emailing list were dropped a lovely message from the people at the ARG talking about some new developments with the dev kits that seem to suggest lots and lots of interesting things. The email itself is fairly long and is laid out in the classic WARE look, which we've all gotten used to by now. There are two major parts to this email I want to look into, so I'll start with what comes first. The email begins with a short greeting stating that last week we invited 544 studios to apply for a dev kit, and we would like to take the time to update you on our current project timeline. It then goes on to state, we are excited to announce that WARE platform should be ready for early access this summer. Right now our dev team is working hard on test protocol PH13, a major upgrade to our rendering engine and a 60% boost on the overall power of your headset. The first paragraph then ends with, we will keep you updated through the development process and hope to be able to share more with you in a couple of weeks. Right, so this is what we have to work with in the opening paragraph. A fair amount of information, I guess you could say. Right off the bat, some people are taking this info from WARE to represent the current status of the next update for No Man's Sky. And for once, this does actually make sense. The mention of WARE being available this summer ties into the release window Hello Games gave us for next, with the update supposedly releasing summer 2018. Also, the mention of the dev team working really hard on a test protocol could be interpreted to mean that Hello Games are working their asses off playtesting the newest additions to Next, or they're just generally hard at work, which they said themselves that they are. The second paragraph mentions that there will be an upgrade to their rendering engine, giving a boost of 60% power to the headset. We of course know that this headset is not real, so what does this actually mean in terms of No Man's Sky? Well, this is actually really strange timing, since my recent video touched on this idea before this email was even sent out, but we could be getting a major engine upgrade with Next. The heavy emphasis on gaining 60% extra power may relate to No Man's Sky being better optimized with the upcoming update. This is something which people have been long asking for, you know, way back when the game first released, because to be honest, it doesn't run all that well. Perhaps an optimization patch is in the update, or alternatively, this could mean that the engine is now strong enough to support the major additions which they could be adding in with Next. However you look at it, everything written in this opening paragraph seems to be a little too coincidental and tie in a little too nicely to No Man's Sky and the next update. This simply being chance is highly unlikely, as what other purpose would this email provide us other than confusing us? Me thinks this is a big old hint, but let me know if you think it is in the comment section down below. And to conclude the first paragraph, the mention of sharing more in a couple of weeks can be interpreted very literally. We will be given more ARG shit in 2 weeks time, easy as, but we're given a warning for once, so this is most definitely a nice change. Okay, so with the first paragraph out of the way, let's get on to the next part of the email, and this can be argued to be the most important piece of news from any ARG so far, and you'll see why very soon. Now, the email shows 3 submitted projects from individuals out of the many they have already received. Remember, this could just be created by the WARE ARG developers. In fact, I'm starting to believe that that any games submitted to WARE are just ignored because, you know, building an ARG on the community is a little too risky. The email provides 3 photos and a brief description of each project. The first project is called Dreamscape and is quote unquote a user-defined MMO where players can create their own worlds as they sleep. Sounds like a kind of Second Life mixed with Sims kind of thing, something I'd actually fucking love to play, that's for sure. The next one is called Venture Unknown and is described as a spiritual successor to a game called No Man's Sky. It's a space exploration game set within a single system and features procedural generation and real erosion mechanics. Yeah, mental, I know. We'll get to the speculation on this very soon. And finally, we have another game called The Drowned Tower and is set to be a post-apocalyptic exploration game set in a dreamlike world whereby individuals use technology to uncover secrets of the world before. Right, there is an absolute shit ton to look at here, so let's break it down game by game and see if we can use any of the information given. For a start, I want to state that a lot of these project descriptions seem to poke fun at something No Man's Sky related, and yes, hear me out just for a moment here. The first game mentions an MMO, something which people often bring up when we used to speculate about No Man's Sky receiving a multiplayer update. Back in the day, some people would argue that it would turn No Man's Sky into an MMO, and some people love this, and the majority absolutely hated this. But this could be seen as Hello Games giving us a little nod to the MMO speculation days pre 1.3. Or if you want to take a really unrealistic kind of optimistic look at things, then you could say perhaps this is hinting to more multiplayer features with the next update. But personally, we all know that No Man's Sky is never going to be an MMO, so however we kind of twist and distort this little piece of information, it's never going to tie into what we want to see. Now, the second game, which is described as a successor to No Man's Sky, so in essence a sequel, pokes fun at 2 things relating to our beloved game. The first is it being a sequel to No Man's Sky. People often talk about No Man's Sky 2, all of this crazy shit about Hello Games bringing out a second game at E3 this year, or it just being a general possibility, or perhaps Next acts as like this entirely new game, and it seems like the ARG is now aware of this. Also, the mention of erosion mechanics was also something which Sean Murray talked about pre-release, believe it or not, and Rayrod TV, who is a extremely clever modder for No Man's Sky, stated that it was indeed a mechanic pre-release. There was evidence of an erosion mechanic in the files of No Man's Sky, yet it was removed and obviously does not exist currently in the game. This could be the ARG kind of having a bit of banter at something that seems almost pointless, but something which people would likely bring up in, you know, missing features or something of the sort. To try and use erosion mechanics as a way to sell a game, like even as an ARG, doesn't make a lot of sense. So I think this is more kind of satire than anything. Now, yeah, you can argue that we're looking way too much into this. You know, I can most definitely agree with you here, but I just thought it was a really, really neat coincidence. A lot of stuff which came up in here does in some way relate to No Man's Sky, so, you know, it's always worth mentioning. All in all, these games were definitely picked for a reason. The description of them can definitely allude to possible features in the next update, but honestly, I'll leave that down to you to decide if you can kind of pick anything out to use as evidence. And finally, this email from WARE ends with, "Thank you very much and stay tuned for future updates during the month of May." Now, this may not seem like a lot, but this does mean in very, very simple terms that the ARG will definitely be around next month, meaning, unfortunately guys, Next isn't going to come out anytime soon. But yeah, I think that's just about all we have to cover in this video. That is the first 10-minute video I've done in fucking ages, so thank you for watching it if you've made it to the end. Thank you very much for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. If you guys enjoyed it, then please do feel free to leave a like on it, and if you guys could also subscribe to MZK, that'd be absolutely fantastic. And as always, I will see you guys on my next video. This is SkintBoot, signing out.
to do a glitch on Block. And if you don't know, Block is quite a horrible map. It is sniper territory, and it's just, I really hate this map. Anyway, I think there was only one glitch on this map. I don't really know why. It is hard. I don't know how someone put up with the patience to do it. But, you know, it doesn't really affect how you play because, yeah, but anyway. So you need to basically go the route that I'm going. There are a few of them. It's not that one. Beware, it's not that one. It is, I believe, yes, it is this one. Okay. So what you do, you have to, I would get